Yo, Yamamo, Aquaba Shrinkoso, Edeba POG Media, so Mr. Safi, and Awaba Jimadian. So, subscribe, like Jimadian, share them out for friends when some can be kindly click on the notification bell. Also, send a baby in the news. We have to platform. So, also, we're on the air call and the air by young fans. Some Donano Embra here. Torkono against and some nana. There is new trend and as a new stories it is developing. Now, this trend, you know. A link to the former president of USA, a can maybe about how you beat me as sanitize your system no na your system no and a good leaders towards to run it. So ja okasa fire sanema na way and a political experts be a kasana or draw a the Barack Obama a can no or the air ababe link it to a Torkono and sensema way the okayeno and as a Torkono the remover no one sense yes or the abede or the ababe link to it. It is a very interesting submission yanko near conqueti
there no Danny there no almost sorry no more appointee so they were packing with the Supreme Court with Akuffo mere open card-bearing members of the political party institutional in independent institution. One the concept of the separation of powers war executive war legislature and the judicial woman now. A bit say as long as it is the executive now appointed the leader of the judiciary no a bit of a compromise. It's an argument within the context of governance. I know a bit of this combo. Yes, it continues, but yamfa some AEB isolated be and protective constitutional. Now se loophole say obabi ya silisilia. A china ya beda sorry no. Obi wa kuma honso akon to kitu abi na wafam na wase waje wa ukaze ze frenere ko e unka twi biom unka brofo biom uka se constitution ha say no akonya obi a interpretation bi se no no peno then problem aba. So it is good that the constitutional review say na omanpanyi kan say they will complete the process, they will see near ehia no say yemfanto ho and to ensure especially the issue of the Supreme Court no na ebia the practice they say obi a oye penyi senior on the Chief Justice. Now senior persons wo now for political expediency intino na for obi a oye akwala e de akwadi omoso. You know, no sure no ma be an try. And we spoke about these things say we will reset the country. We will make the institutions more independent, more viable in their function. Because onya of mampenyi papa na institutions na nya juma papa and juma len konkan. So the institutions must be independent, maybe very functioning. So more function, you know, well. Even in the absence of the president, the system will run. Abrabina president to coin, or my penyaba the chair to coin, Speaker of Parliament to coin, but the system was running as though the driver was there. So when the system is working, and Barack Obama say, we don't need strong men to run our countries. We need strong, viable institutions. And so we must cleanse the system of some of the rot that we all saw. Let us purge it of the carnage that we saw. And then after this, and the institutions function well, it's not for the MPP, it's not for the NDC, it's not for the PPP. And to me, if you say, some of these lapses now, the Constitutional Review Committee, where necessary court referendum, no, let us all agree. Then we know that we are setting on a path where no one can come and abuse the system, as we saw them do in the past 8 years. So for me, I think we are on course. And I want to salute the president for upholding the integrity of the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
All right.
On my penny, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he promised, he swore also to uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana.
Defend it.
Now, Constitution no oka only to me yentia. You're the process of reviewing the Constitution. You share your Supreme Court. Now you send Semba Kumino. As I say, you share SWA. I think we need to look at it because the year in 2001, His Excellency Akuffo, the issue of the establishment of the Fast Track High Court. Honorable Chachuchikata, Omudino Eko Court. or challenge the constitutionality of the fast track high court. Sabrina Supreme Court judges 9 and omuti panel no so. Omo kwa asem no so no. Yes, omo express omo view e kan omo burofo no nyina wie no. 5 ejitum se no kre. It was unconstitutional. And 4 supporting the position of the government. Sabre His Excellency Akuffo any owura Akuffo Addo. Sabre mu ye no. Ena omo kan se debi sad decision no ombehwe se omo dane no. They will ensure they overturn the decision of the Supreme Court. No omo ye ni se omo hwe constitution no ehun space bia omo ko appointee 2 extra judges. Omo ko to bo omo overturn it to 6-5. And then she say possibly no your lapse be bia obi betimi take advantage. And omo nyina hu a enne your appointees Supreme Court judges to extend it, we're getting alarmed. Say abruso edoso dodo. It should be capped. So during the process of reviewing the constitution, say sign no mind be necessary share. Me say be me wa high, me a party secretary. Now by a party send your mind no constitution, send a party so constitution. Now uba NDC discipline, party discipline, constitution article 48. Now article 48 naturally say me a miti ha many we a final many we nye final de na ekọ de na enko say ye the petition aba efa obi hu issues no ewo merita party no in the first point no the committee at that level because okay you suspend you membership and also kita position bia depending on what they deem no they put you on suspension. And within 1 month, as I said, the Regional Executive Committee and refer issue to the disciplinary committee. Committee never more terms of reference. Or yeah, institution mu year, as I said, until Obiano Casa. Now, offer recommendations back to the committee. You just say issues not on my canon and no Nepal were different our beam. Recommendations except fata that we implement. And I'm saying, young constitutions, you have shared the mother constitution, the Republic, the 4th Republican Constitution, a 1992 constitutional, and so that we will not do things different from Senate or minor echo. Petitioner by, unlike in the time of Charlotte Oseno, the petitioner is known to all of us. The petition is available. Yeah. A copy was given to Anti-Araba. Unlike a kana, some for ya number of form matro. Se Swahili, se Dagatio, se Deo Ibeo, yenim, but ye say be matro, and homogena so a mamino. So His Excellency the President, being the custodian of the Constitution and upholding and protecting it, no. Also, kid, Embrano say the person should be on suspension pending the determination of NASAM. Or this so say you see on my penny John Dramani Mahama Bonia influence so bad no ye up to now being to me point. So emotions and sensationalism no lemboyen. Maybe yet mati or the mami Sofa Akuffo or cabrophobia or see even on no abroad on war or the constitution here Jumano on who lapses be on who say problem ba community be on who nanso no one kasa say the person kasa or a senior citizen or bet me those observations to the Constitutional Review Committee. I'm sure she did. Now say by here say any article in free and I review baby that is but for now baby eti hano emra ewo article 146 the provision from 146 to 9 nyina no what this pepepe na ECOWAS so why look a community na wo ECOWAS is a voluntary association of independent sovereign states. Ghana aiwo yemra Nigeria kitanidia na no me hu se me ekoso Togo ya timi anko bru ya de man yi na free wo say aden no person on define nani life president because they are a sovereign state. And ECOWAS you know like advice be about to cancel akamu ye ni say but as a sovereign state of our supreme constitution no the omu nisa 2 million now umbaba be say we no yen influence na be no, because ye was sebi even the right to leave any association at any time when we think say omo person mo mra no ntia ye. We ba go share Commonwealth, we are part of the Commonwealth. In 1956, Abra Britain ni France echo say omo the soil crisis by no. They left. Egypt says say mo mba yes hadia, it is in our interest. They left, they exited the Commonwealth. Years back after the resolution was signed by. Even in South Africa in 1961, when imposed taxes about this apartheid, apartheid system, they left until 1994. When they saw that week, they said no normal way. So in any way, Commonwealth, ECOWAS, so whoever comes to Ghana and want to undermine the sovereignty of our country, we have the right to. Because so as I say, I mean, who say the law is the law, no, and he along which part of the law now, free. So for me, once we have accepted democracy, your constitution or manpenyi anye mfumuso biara, the laid down procedure na ewo hwasa na onu ba ya wa the law is the law, no, and no more enforce. So let it be that the law remains the law. Say dachi na who said there are some lapses in the constitutional framework.
You guswa uti ejumedi no edema subscribe, like ejumedi and share na ma afofro and so answer in can be kindly click on the notification bell no so send be the any news be to platform so also wo no the echo and the ba yenko nyekonko te di aka.
Yes. Then, but until such a time, now this is the law. The law is the law. The law has acted. And His Excellency the President has only defended and upheld the provisions of the Constitution. And the Abonabaso said, not just the country, all the political parties, every association on the Constitution. But you for me Constitution to look at the mother Constitution of the nation. And it is a necessary by so where Madam for we or me why. The law is the law, and the law has to work. So this one for me, comment to never running. But no matter all the whichever the noises, is it noises now? Many kinds of I just said what you can't say my boom now can't him and their friend noises, no. But they said, I can't say Yansa Umo, Yansa Nimu, constitutional or no Kasa hold it, leader or administer for His Excellency the President to uphold and defend, and no assembly. Until they show us those lapses, the law remains the law. The Constitution remains the supreme document of this nation, and as a sovereign nation of this country, we uphold its provisions. We respect her removal. Say, now we will be a because that's why here. We are born now, Papa. So, where am I coming? Munja, that could be fear. So, whether we are being watched or not, let us be mindful of the area when we have power. Deep within her, until us not share the world the Nejuma. Obi asked him that court several weeks, several months. But once somebody comes, and it's interestingly, I did not say a majority of those who seem to have a problem with this is the MPP. They're jumping and somersaulting. What is it?
But let me say a question. You talked about some lapses in the Constitution. I'm on Fuaka. I said the framers of the Constitution, in their wisdom, don't you think, say de 2 minimum nipa ba ko say we obetimi ayo ne ope na other body ntimi check no a senka ne be weso in a sense yet krom ha when Kwesi Enini Yeboah became Chief Justice under his tenure an Electoral Commission the draft bi ba say ye be kwa true din. Now one of the requirements abetimi mo are eligible say your birth set.
Yes.
Omu yifri mu.
Yeah.
A Supreme Court. Court no interpretation because says akrata we enye enough basis for someone. Say a bachelor say we Ghana ni anya Ghana ni simply because it doesn't have a photography of the individual or better even say. that paper na when say no. Then it became BBC. Beth said when even occur elsewhere, Western World, Beth said one of the basic documents about nationality crime it me refer to.
Yeah.
But a certain group be per se one more. I don't know the agenda no more.
Yeah.
So some are focus. Oh, there are lapses within the constitution, which as I say, my Ghana Police Service crano and say my president, appointed IGP. We cry and see my we for call appoint to there. Don't you think that they call that tangent now? A time will come. Uko kunyali debi not that judiciary ano. Uko nyali debi not that a year Ghana Police Service ano. Now official say near web one and no be but any the interest of the minor. Now where are we going as a country?
Yo, me that say, no cano. You see, a life that is not examined is not worth living. Waubo braudu pepe subia se wonda dinhwe se na mebo me brano ekoye de na nsesa me nsesa de na nsesa me ye. So the same way in the life of a country no, which even the United States omako a number of amendments depending on the needs ebeba at the time you respond. You know your life must be responsive to the modern trends and demands. And here be a declaration be after some time, maybe be assessment and say update because processes started from the previous presidents, sir, from Prof. NIS Bedru her at a stage. You see, into about any MMDCs. You see, would there be? You continue to appoint them. People feel say it compromises the inclusivity, the real sense of representation, and for through decentralization, and say yes, sir. Sir, arguments in Nana. Is part of the process of building a nation. And entirely, but there are times of beautiful say, maybe there is too much power at the executive, too much or my penny and Sebi obetimi aye normal bia even say embo or my empoa obetimi aye. So gradually we have taken note of a normal bebre. But niema mi di bamuni say if no less a person than a former Chief Justice, say, onuna breso, omuri G petition from Obia, a faceless somebody, Samai, Sabi. Now, Mojina Samai, and Ansaman for Asamusu, Eddie Asam Eddie Charlotte, Mammy Charlotte Sefree office. Onu chere necessary breno na no mabi hana kuma ba na want to be anka. And no officer, mrena suso betimi akasa. Na atu nenu abano anti arabano and also no uhwe constitutional onu observe say baby atochima kakra anambre edri no say yensili. Yes, I understand say kwa ya faso ne a o mapanyi edi procedure na chia omoyi mamia anti araba free ho no.
Yeah.
Enye na bi su kan say omu dad so die 8 years no omu ba be omu ba ji oman no bioma within busumi e be di kan no omu be pam Supreme Court for na omu sisa manfo. So you see we must have the mechanisms to shock to defend, to protect your institutions. Yamfa share ba kumienu bi antu ho a ye betime appoint judges to 100. At a point, na president no quite say, hey, Abrusu, but Yamfan say maybe the number should be odd, should be less than 9, but not more than 19, or maybe that kind of Yamfa measures be antuwa.
Yeah.
Now ye the normal ya jai no to wa Mike ebidimo and no example na me ma wo no. Abra chachuchi kata win in the case of court no.
Yeah.
Mikaina nanado sabre no kan say ombe pe kwan biara awura constitution mo ombe hu tokro bi awura ho assistant decision no enokre they appointed 2 judges, I think Justice Afre and Justice Lamte. 2 were brought on board. So they were given the specific assignment, so omunko tumbo nipa 4 no and almost overturned the decision of the Supreme Court in 6-5. From there no there no almost sorry no more appointee, so they were packing with the Supreme Court with Akuffo mere open card-bearing members of a political party. Institutional, in independent institution, One, the concept of the separation of powers, executive war, legislature, and the judicial war. A bit say, as long as it is the executive now appointed the leader of the judiciary, a bit of a compromise. It's an argument within the context of governance. I know a bit of this combo. Yes, it continues, but yamfa some AEB insulated be and protective constitutional. Now se loophole se obabi ya silisilia. A china ya beda sorry no. Obiwa kuma honso wakongu tokuro kitu abibabi. Na wafam. Na wase waji. Wa ukaze zefrenere kwa ya unka tribium. Unka brofobium. Uka wase constitutional hase. No akonyo obiya interpretation bi. Se no peno. Then problem aba. So it is good that the constitutional review se na omanpenyi kan say they will complete the process. They will see near ehiano say infantu and to ensure, especially the issue of the Supreme Court, now
yo guswa o hwe djumadi no edema message so subscribe, like djumadi and share na ma for friends when san can be kindly click on the notification bell so send a bear near the any news be to platform no so I won so wo hu the echo and the but djumadi no do don now ho into the bear day but eja obey day like ye be koso na ye din sam no ayede abremo ye de sia